Alright, so for the next card, I wanted to make a card that was kind of monochromatic and kind of the monochrome colors. So I've chosen some of these kind of greens and kind of turquoisey colors, and I've cut 2 of the sprigs out, just like I did on the last card. But for this one, what I wanted to do for the little sprigs is that I actually cut them out of the same card base, same color as the card base, because I wanted them to kind of stand out nicely. And then I also have this fun ribbon to kind of tie the whole thing together. So first thing we're going to do is on the back side of this, so this is suede paper, and I actually used the reverse die cut from these die cuts to do some stenciling on the suede. And I don't know if you knew that you can stencil onto the suede, but I thought that was pretty cool. I used the picked pistachio color distress ink. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the back side of that. I'm going to do it on all 4 sides here. And then, just like with the other card that we were doing, at the bottom here, if you flip it over, so the bottom of the sprigs are at the bottom there, we're going to stick our ribbon on, and I'm just going to stick it again probably about 1 inch up from the top. Okay. Now I'm going to put some more double-sided tape on the left and right, so that way my ribbon isn't going to go anywhere. And then on the front of the card, we're going to stick that suede paper on the left-hand side, and there's going to be about an even amount of space on the top left and on the bottom, probably about 1/8 of an inch border. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to tie our little ribbon here. And I want to tie it into a cute little bow. All right. All right, there we are. And then I'm just going to trim these down. Look a little bit nicer. All right, now I'm going to take my textured paper, which I thought was so cool. I've had a number of people tell me they thought this looks a little bit like mermaid scales, but honestly, I just love how it ties the whole card together. You see all these colors in this one paper. So this is cotton paper. I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the left and right of that. Whoops. Make sure it actually wants to stick on me. I guess you could use glue if you wanted to. That again. There we go, double-sided tape. All right, and then we're going to stick that on the left-hand side. And when you match that up perfectly right next to the suede paper, you should get the same amount of border on the top right and on the bottom. So they should match up perfectly. All right, which I thought was a nice way to put that. All right, so now we're going to put some glue on the flower sprig of the 2 sprigs. Alright, and then we're going to tuck that in here kind of behind the ribbon, and I'm just going to lay that so that the flower actually is right next to the other flower, but it's not totally hiding it. Okay, so that way you can see both of the other sprigs. My thought was that maybe you were like looking at like a garden and then the other ones were kind of like more in the background, but I thought that was really, really beautiful. And then we have our little word hello, and we're going to stick that on the front. I'm going to put some glue on the back side of that. And we're going to put the hello at a slight angle coming off of where the little leaf sprig is. And if you want to overlap that little leaf sprig, you can. I'm actually going to put my sentiment on top of the leaf sprig. And I'm just going to kind of follow the same movement, the same kind of movement as this little leaf sprig right here. So it's kind of going in this kind of upward direction. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can make your L's kind of a little bit more parallel to the edge of that textured paper as well. And that'll kind of help you kind of guide it a little bit. Okay. Then for the inside of the card, we're going to use some double-sided tape to adhere this lighter weight paper down. We'll stick that on the inside of the card. Again, there's an even border on all 4 sides, probably about 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to take some glue with our little leaf sprig here. And we're going to stick that down on the right-hand side, so that way you have a nice little space to like write your little message. Isn't that so sweet? All right, and there we have it. Oops, a little bit more glue there. There we have card number 2. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love how this card turned out, and I love how this little bit of textured paper really ties the entire card together. You have the different textures, the different colors, all the colors tie in really beautifully with that textured paper on the far right. Hope you love it. All right, on to the last card.